Rolling Loud seems to know more about Vultures 2 than we do, because they just put up a mysterious tweet that might be connected to the release of Vultures 2, which is then again connected to Kanye's and Ty Dolla $ign's Rolling Loud performance next week. So let's talk about this and let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter briefing with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop, so make sure to do that. So as we talked about yesterday, that new Arizona listening party really blew all of our hopes that Vultures 2 would be dropping this Friday, March 8th, like it was originally announced to be dropping, because that listening party is happening Sunday, March 10th, so after the supposed release. And on the website for the Footprint Center, which is the venue of that event, it says that it's a Vultures 1 listening party. But they didn't count in Rolling Loud, because Rolling Loud is happening next week, Rolling Loud California. And as we can see right here, Ye and Dolla $ign, so Ye and Ty Dolla $ign. Also, everybody that's correcting me because I'm calling him Kanye and not Ye, chill out a little bit, okay? It's still Kanye to a lot of us, even though his name is now Ye, but it's both, okay? We can say both and don't get upset about it. So Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign are performing March 14th in California, and they're the only group of people, musicians, that are performing on that Thursday, because as we can tell, every of the other ones, like the Nicki Minaj headlining is on Friday, the Post Malone headlining on Saturday, and the Future Metro Boomin headlining on Sunday. So they're the only ones on March 14th, if I'm reading that correctly, which is weird because a Thursday performance sometimes indicates that something is happening that Friday, like a music release. But this was like known to us. This wasn't completely special. But Rolling Loud really emphasized that the two of them, Kanye and Ty, got added to the headlining list, because even in their bio on Twitter or X, they put, Rolling Loud Cali 2024 just added Ye and Dolla $ign and tagged both of them. That's in their bio. That is like the first thing that they want to put out when people go to their Twitter account. And then the interesting thing happened, because they put out a tweet, and the tweet was put out a couple of hours ago. It just says Volume 2 and then like the eye emoji and an eagle emoji, but I guess they wanted to be a bird, a vulture. That's kind of what I'm reading into this. So they're teasing that something is gonna be happening at Rolling Loud involving Vultures 2, or Volume 2 in this case. Now, does this mean that the album will drop before then? I doubt it, because we have a Phoenix, Arizona listening party for Vultures 1 after the Friday, but it might indicate that it is dropping next Friday. So in this case, March 15th, which would honestly be the best case scenario, because that means it's not delayed indefinitely, but just a week. Now, let me know what y'all think Rolling Loud means with this tweet. Do they know something that even Kanye doesn't? Or are they just not up to date that apparently it's delayed now? Because maybe they just assumed that Kanye was still dropping this Friday and performing, Vultures 2 at Rolling Loud, and they just weren't up to date with all the news about this, thing getting delayed. Probably. But let's keep going though, because connecting to this Rolling Loud performance, we have some more interesting news. Now, you might know Kanye West. He's a model, but has been very closely connected with a lot of this rollout and has some inside info on a lot of these things. And you've probably all seen this, posted something on Instagram earlier on this week, which seems to be a track list. And he said, y'all can't read this right. It was a text message, and he was talking about this being connected to Kanye. He said, as of right now, but it's Ye, so it's not final until it's final. I would wait for the rest of the team before doing anything, bro. So that means that this thing wasn't even final. But even though he told us that we can't read this, some Ye fans, because they crazy, they deciphered this. And now what seems to be an OG track list for Vultures. Now, we don't have all of it filled in, but a lot of it, I've seen some other versions go around where everything is filled in, but those were just very close guesses. So I'll stick with this one where we're kind of sure. We're missing 7, 9, and 10, and 13, but I know there's pictures going around with all of them filled in, but those were just very close estimates. But these are pretty safe to say that they're on there. But as we can tell, we have songs from Vultures 1, like Fuck Some, like Back to Me, like Vultures. But we also have, or once again, the last track, which is now Talkin' once again. But also we have new tracks like Everybody, Slide, we have Don't Kill the Party, and Time Moving Slow. And people were speculating that this isn't a track list for Vultures 2, but rather a set list for an event that is supposed to happen very soon, which could be Rolling Loud California next week. It's just a theory, but that is something that's been going around, and that is a theory that we got, that he might be performing those songs at Rolling Loud, kind of seeing how they stick with the fans before dropping it the day after or the week after. We just don't know, but that's a theory we got right now. But then again, Kanye was asked on Twitter only today about what he's heard so far regarding Volume 2, and he said not much, if anything, everyone else doesn't already know. So who knows, that might just be a couple of days old and completely outdated, because Kanye just, always changes stuff up until the last minute. But that's what we got so far. Also, one more thing I wanted to add is that Hellcat Baby, so also he's a curator, but was also working on some of the stuff concerning Volume 1 and also Volume 2, but he tweeted out just this morning, Vultures 2 session right now. So maybe they are in the studio right now, or not maybe, this tells us they're in the studio right now, which could be a good or a bad sign. We know that Kanye works until the last minute, or Ye works until the last minute. Or it could also be a bad sign that, they're still working on the album and it's supposed to drop in 3 days, which honestly, it doesn't seem likely. But take it as you want. It's there. We don't know what to do with it. Let's see how this turns out. And also, I wanted to mention that the interview with Justin LeBoy from the Download podcast, or the Download show, which was teased like a month ago at this point, which was supposed to release exactly 1 week prior to the release date of Vultures 2. So last Friday, March 1st, then, when March 8th would have been the release date, 7 days later. That was a release plan for that interview. It didn't drop. So that was the first sign that I went over in the second to last video about this thing maybe getting delayed. That seemed to be a pretty good indicator, and I'm hoping that we can get this interview still. If it drops this Friday, that's a good sign that the album will drop a week later, so March 15th, one day after Rolling Loud. So far, to me, that seems like the most credible, way of rolling this out that we got. But let's all see how this develops. It's Kanye. We don't know shit until we actually have it on our phones, and even then, songs are getting deleted, songs are getting changed, like on Vultures 1. So let's see how this all turns out. But that's the info we got so far. I don't think it's dropping this Friday. I mean, that was pretty clear yesterday in that video as well. But now it also seems like, Rolling Loud might know something that we don't, and we'll see next week when they perform. So until then, I want to know what y'all think about this. When do you think Vultures 2 is actually dropping, and how do you think Rolling Loud is connected to this? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.